Yeah, Coach, just curious overall, biggest differences with your room right now versus where you guys were in the spring and in the new offense and everything.
Yeah, big difference, big difference. Spring, I think we all were trying to figure each other out, trying to figure out the offense, see exactly what we're supposed to be doing out there, where we fit in, and the competitive nature throughout the room, kind of learning each other, to be honest, learning my coaching style, learning what gets to each guy, what may get a guy going, learn when a guy is, on his best job and when he's not, and how can I get him going, So I think now we've made the 180 to where we all know each other. We're all in there competing. It's a competitive room, and everyone's just in everyone's best at the moment.
Feels like I could name like 8 guys who could potentially start out there. I mean, how difficult is it going to be to whittle that down? Obviously, you're going to have a rotation, but it obviously means something also to start.
Yeah, not too difficult, honestly, man. I mean, we live by certain things in our rooms, and we all know what it is, and we all going to come back, evaluate ourselves day in, day out. We'll evaluate ourselves over a week span, over 2 week span, over a fall camp span. And excuse me, sorry about that. And when the time comes, everyone will know, hey, these are the 3 rolling that's starting, but at the end of the day, guys are going to play. And we're going to get a chance to rotate and show what you can do. And I always tell them, playing time is up to you, man. It's up to you. So it's all about production and execution.
Broden had the injury in the spring, but it seems like he's healthy now. What have you seen from him this fall?
Yes, 2 guys that I'm proud of is Broden and Wilson, both alone, 2 guys that, unfortunately missed a bunch of spring. Obviously Broden wasn't here before that spring, so we didn't really know exactly who he was. And to see who he is right now has been really, really awesome, We always talk about it. He's a 6'7" guy who moves like he's 6'2", and it's really good to see his competitive nature come out. A guy that, has been through a lot just in his time being with us, and you can tell he wears that on his sleeve and uses it as motivation, and it's showing right now.
And with Isaiah Satania, where have you seen him grow the most from last year to this point right now?
Maturity. I mean, that's an easy one for me on Isaiah. Isaiah's a great athlete. He knows who he is. And he's smart. He's very, very smart. So he knows what we're trying to get done on the field. And it's funny, we had a bowl game where he got a chance to play, and at halftime, I kind of got after him a little bit, like, hey, man, you running the middle school route, things of that nature. And now we don't have those conversations anymore. He's matured to a point where I think we really, really can count on him, and I think he knows that, and he'll excel with everything that we throw in front of him.
When you bring back so few catches from your receiving core the year before, what's your anxiety level like up front about that? And then how do you feel about it now?
Yes. I mean, it's really big in January, honestly it is. It's really big. And then you get in spring ball, you learn who you got. Like I say, we kind of learn each other. And, you still got some freshmen coming in, and you kind of evaluate over summer workouts. And now you get chances to do OTAs with them. And, the further and further you go, the more ease you start to get into it. And so I don't know if I'll ever be fully eased until we win some games. But right now I'm feeling good. I love the competitive nature in our room. You can tell it's everything's up for grabs. And so we have plenty of guys competing their butts off in order to go be those 3 starters. But they also know when your time comes to shine, better be ready for it.
Armstrong and Tesla, both of them came along during the spring and looked to be, high up in the rotation. What would you say about those 2 in particular?
Exactly. I just think theirs happened a bunch quicker because those 2 guys came in. Obviously, they're older guys who've been in college for a while, and then they got a chance to learn the offense, learn how a new place practices. I'm pretty sure our speed is a little different. And it's crazy you say that. I talked to both in the middle of the spring and told them, I can tell, man, you're getting a little comfortable. You're starting to settle in. And now that then they come back for fall camp after summer workouts and being around the team, now you start to see the leadership in those older guys that's been in college come out. And so it's been awesome to see that progression. Looking forward to see how, fall camp unfolds with those guys.
Bryce Stevens is one of the guys that does have experience, has played and back. Talk about how he's progressed, and is the competition for playing time helping him?
Yes, for sure. I think it's something that's helping the room as a whole because, you can't take a step off. You can't take a play off. You can't take a rep off. If you do, the next man behind you is I mean, he's coming to take his spot. He's coming to try to be that starter. And so same with Bryce. You know, Bryce is competing his butt off, keeping his head up, staying positive, and trying his best to just go out there and do his best. And that's all we ask from every guy. Allow us to coach you, and we'll put you in situations to succeed and go succeed, go execute.
Wanting to get a little rock today to play Western Carolina. How many receivers would play?
Oh, we usually, I mean, we're going to go about 9 to 10 deep. So, and I'm thinking maybe those later guys better be some really good special teams guys, and those top 6 be ready to play. Let's roll.
I was going to ask you about how many of those 9 or 10 would play special teams.
Honestly, I ask all of them to play something. The starting 3, they need to be on 2 of them. You know, the rest, they need to be on 3. And then those last 7, 8, 9, 10 guys need to be fighting for all 4.
Coach, you had, last year 2 transfers come into a room. What kind of lessons did you learn from last year's experience integrating those guys and, a kind of a fresh room that you're kind of taking over to this year with kind of some similar challenges?
Man, that's an awesome question, man. Learned a lot, man. You know, college football landscape kind of changed a bit in the last 2-3 years, and I think we're all kind of learning, and I made some mistakes last year with some things, and I vowed to myself and my players and my coach and the other coaches that I wouldn't do those same things, and I think it's happened the right way this year, and I think it's kept a lot of mindsets really involved to where they understand what competing is and how to compete, and I think it's helped us all so much more, and I'm proud of the group so far, man. I know we're only 5 days in, but I'm just proud of the mindset that they came in with and the want to, the effort, and everything else that comes with it.
Davion's definitely flashed a little bit in what we've seen. How impressive is he as a freshman coming in? And, is he a guy that you think can, make an impact on Saturdays, even with all the kind of the experience and transfers you have?
Yeah, very excited about those young guys that came in, man. We had a few come in, and not just Davion Dozier. You got Desmond James, you got Kalen Morris, guys that came in, and man, they're learning right now. They're in that process of, trying to learn what's going on, how we practice, things of that nature. But like you say, you just see flashes of them where when they figure it out, there'll be some really good players. And it's hard to speak right now after 5 practices on, if those guys will really have a chance to go in there and impact the game right now. I just want to keep coaching them and help them get to the point where they don't need help when they see a signal. You know what I mean? Just to be able to go play freely, because they're not playing freely unless they know exactly what they're doing. And it's easy to see, and it's easy to see that's when they flash, when they know exactly what they're doing. So just keep bringing them along. And that's where I think the leadership in our room from spring to now has changed in the room. Well, we got older guys trying to help those guys out and bring them along.
Coach, we heard last week that Andrew Armstrong is one of the 5 guys that's hit 22 miles per hour in the summer. We can understand he's fast. DBs have said that too. Is there anything like technical about his game that makes him or helps him excel?
It's funny you say that, man. I always say, I tell Andrew all the time, he's just savvy, man. He's savvy. He knows how to get open, knows how to create space, knows how to create separation, knows zone coverages, where the hole's going to be. And he's just sneaky fast, honestly. He's a long strider guy, so at times he knows how to be deceptive to where he sets up his speed. And to be honest with you, Coach Guiton probably didn't know if he was going to run 22. So seeing that, it was like awesome. Like, okay, this dude can run. So he's done some special things. Looking forward to the year that he'll have. So very, very, very excited about that guy.
If your guys going against the DBs all the time in practice, I was wondering what your thoughts were on Dwight McLaughlin in particular, and maybe just the DBs in general. After you say something about your thoughts on Dwight.
Man, big time. These DBs right now. I mean, it is iron sharpen iron. I mean, it is. We're going to work in everything we do. I mean, first thing we do start group work. I mean, we're doing 2-on-2, 1-on-1, half line pass, and I mean, you just feel it. It gets. The competitive nature just turns up right away, and guys are going at it, and it's not about a bunch of talking either. It's just guys going to work, guys getting better through reps, and, we win some, we lose some. And I love it that way because we got to understand that, hey, we want them to be good on that other side as well. Dwight Nudie, I tell the guys all the time, he's just a smart guy, man. He is. He understands the game. I mean, he sees a certain split, and he's like, okay, these are 2 or 3 routes you can run from that split. He sees you looking inside, looking around, alert motion, alert motion. It's like, Moody, how you knew that was coming? But he's just one of those kind of guys that just understands the game and very instinctive, very instinctive. And excited to see these DBs as well, because like I say, every day, man, I'm teaching how to combat what they're doing, and they come back with something different. And so every day it's like a chess match where we're going back and forth, and you can see the growth in those guys from spring ball, the new guys that's in there. You can see what they bring to the table, and it's a different feel. It's a different feel.
You guys from some smaller schools like Hillsdale and
Mm-hmm.
I guess Texas
Commerce.
A&M.
Yeah.
And but they're showing they can play on this level. What do you
Yeah.
think about them stepping up from a lower division? Also, do you get a sense how hungry they are because they're not
Right.
used to all the bells and whistles an SEC program has?
Well, I was going to say the exact word you said. It's easy to see the hunger in those guys and the gratitude that they come with. Like I say, both of them, they came from smaller places, and Tyrone from Bowling Green. You know, those guys just they come with a certain level of gratitude. You know, they know that they're having a chance to show what they can do against some of the best competition in the world, and they come out every day with that on their face. You know, you can tell that they're excited to be here. They love being here. They're excited to learn every day. They're excited to compete every day, and it's easy to see. You know, that smile. I may walk in and not be in the best of moods, and seeing their faces and everyone facing the wide out room period, just it lights you up and gets you ready for your day to roll.
It's just based on some of the things we've seen in practice. You expecting to see more screen game with wide receivers this year, and also maybe challenge in the middle of the field more too?
You know, I expect to see what's working. You know what I mean? Whatever they're giving up, we're gonna take it, and we just want to put the players in the best situations to succeed. I think Coach Enos is a great play caller, great OC, knows what he wants, and he knows how to coach it. You know, and we're all gonna ride behind him, and his play call is gonna be the best play call that we got for that moment, and we're gonna trust it and go out there and run it and go execute. And I just think we're gonna take whatever they give us. You know.
A couple of players we hadn't asked about, Jaden Wilson, who was banged up a little bit in the spring. How's he come along? And also Sam Bakke.
Yeah, same deal. Jaden kind of same as Tyrone. The difference with Jaden is he's been here for 2 years before, so we kind of know who he is and everything. But man, I feel like he's gotten a lot stronger in his body, and he's just such a natural route runner. He's catching the ball smoother. I think the move we made with him going inside and letting him work in space more has really, really been really good for him. And it's been awesome to see his progression. His first few days of fall camp has been awesome. And like I say, just the competitive nature has been great. Sam Bakke, same deal. I mean, he's just, everybody knows what Sam is going to give you. I mean, he's going to give you 100 miles per hour, 100% effort, everything he does. And at times you got to slow him down. And that's how I would love to coach players. So just keeping him in the right frame of mind, it will be the next step. And he's going to be another one that's just easy to throw in there and know what you're getting.
Another one of your 22-mile-an-hour guys. I'm wondering, we've seen that y'all are scheming up to get him the ball. Can you maybe talk about how he's risen in your eyes to do that? And also, as a kick returner, you know, you expect him to maybe be the guy there.
Yes, for sure. It kind of goes into play what we talked about earlier with Isaiah. You know, his maturity level and how much he's grown from last fall to spring ball to now. I mean, it's a big jump. It's a big jump. And so he's a guy that understands what we want to get done when you make a play call. And so he's able to go out and execute. I always tell him, man, when you know what to do and you know the why, I mean, now you just go play freely and let your athletic ability take over. And you can tell he's in that point. So would love to just keep seeing him grow.
Yeah. So I was charting your 2-on-2s in period 4 today, and I had you at 11 for 26. What was the rest of practice like? Did y'all bounce back from that? And what do you think?
Yeah, 2-on-2 wasn't great today. And it goes into play. I mean, like I say, the DBs are going to bring it every day, you know, and today they got us. And it's crazy. The next period, we go to punt, and I got some DBs in the positions I'm coaching, and they go up, and I said, man, y'all give me teach tape. I see DBs came to practice today, but we got better through our practice. And we actually finished it a lot better in 2 minutes today. But yeah, you're right. 2-on-2 didn't go so great, and we're gonna go watch it and learn why, and combat it and come back tomorrow and be better.
From a competitive standpoint, where does this group that you have this year compare to the other groups that you've had here in Fayetteville?
I mean, up there at the top with them. I mean, you know, those last two groups were very, very competitive as well. And the difference is I think we got maybe a few more numbers of competitive guys that can go in there and really get the job done. Not probably it wasn't as much last year, and then the year before. I mean, obviously you got Burks, a talent that's just different, and then you had some guys around him that were really good as well. But I just think it's a little more, few more guys maybe in the room that should be competitive throughout the room to kind of keep the, I don't want to say pressure on those guys that may be starters, but just kind of keep them on their toes, keep them working, you know.
I know it's only been 5 practices, but just the connection from the quarterbacks and the guys, specifically KJ and the receivers, how do you think that's going?
Man, it's been the coolest thing to see, honestly, with the leadership in KJ. You know, the leadership in him, watching him grow through these last 3 years and seeing who he wants to be in this year, and knowing that, I mean, basically he's throwing to all new guys, and he's taking that role on and really been a leader. And it's easy to see who he's going to be this year. I can't wait to see.
I was going to ask you about KJ, but have you commented on Tesla yet?
I don't know if I've said anything about my guy.
Let's talk about
Man,
Tesla
man, that's messed up. Sorry, Isaac. Awesome dude, man. I mean, just one of those guys you never have to worry about. Does he know what's going on? I mean, just another one. Like, I mean, I was talking about Isaiah earlier. He knows what to do, know why we're making the play call, know where he needs to end up on the play. And when that ball's in the air and it's around number 4, expect the play to be made. You know, he's one of those kind of guys where I call it contact and bank catches. We got to put him in the bank, and he's making deposits at the moment, you know, and he's not the only one. There's quite a few, but he's one of those guys, man. Ball around that wingspan, he's coming down with it. And once again, sorry, Isaac.
From a recruiting standpoint, you've obviously got ties in Texas, and what areas do you kind of focus on, and just with managing the transfer portal and recruiting, like what is your approach to both of those?
Yeah.
What makes you a good recruiter?
Texas, honestly, you know, that's where I'm from and everything. Texas always had some ties in Louisiana, been right next door, and spent a little time in Louisiana Tech. But Texas, Louisiana, and then obviously been in Arkansas now, got a chance to recruit the state. But how I look at it is I'm always trying to get my numbers back to wherever we want to keep the numbers for wideouts. I'm trying to get that with high school guys. I kind of don't start worrying about, you know, portal until kind of middle of the year. You start figuring out, oh man, this guy may be out, this guy here, whatever it is, and then you start figuring out, all right, we got these high school guys in. I better be able to get it back to the numbers of what I need to. So it's a little fluid deal that, I mean, you can ask today what we need, and we got 3 high school guys committed and nobody leaving. So you ask in a week somebody I can feel like about to take off, I may need to go get someone. So it's just a fluid deal right now. And like I say, it's a world that we're all learning. You know, it's a new world in NCAA football. So just every day we're going to keep moving forward.
Kind of your pitch to Broden, Armstrong, Tesla. What was your, like, how did that happen?
Look at the room, and he started coming back. You know, really no seniority. Nobody in the room that's caught any balls yet in live action, you know. And I was very honest with all 3 of them. I do have great young talent, you know, some young talent that's coming up, just have no experience. So I wanted some guys with some college experience, make the room competitive, and let's go from there. And once they saw the numbers in scholarships, it's like, hold on, I get a chance to play in the SEC, and it's all you got on scholarships. Let's go to work.
You mentioned Dan Enos a minute ago. Just wondering, now that you've been with Dan for a while, what's that been like, and just kind of what do you think he brings back to the staff? Because obviously he was here with Sam before.
Yeah. Just a smart guy. You can tell who's seasoned, been through it before, knows what to expect, knows what first day mistakes are going to happen. He knows what's going to happen before it happens, you know, and so just one of those coaches to learn from because he is a vet. And man, I mean, he knows the answers for everything before it happens. And that's one of those things that I'm trying to learn as a guy that played quarterback, coaching wideouts now. And I just want to know those answers because he'll know once we get guys with one play, their answer is going to be this. So we come back with this. And it's like so cool to learn because it's like he sees it, you know, already happening. And just an awesome guy to learn from. Knows what he wants. And I mean, he wants it to the T. And it keeps us on our toes to every day always go over the little details, you know, and not skip over anything.
With so many new faces in the room, you talked about leadership. Who has stepped up and been kind of the leader for this group, or is it kind of, you know, lead by committee?
Mm-hmm. The main guy to step up has been Andrew Armstrong. I mean, he's been a guy that, like I say, even though he's been here since January, he's been in college. You know, he's an older guy. He understands it. He knows what it takes to be great. And so when he sees it not happening, he steps up and he's vocal about it. Tesla, Isaac, he's one of those guys as well. He'll do it by example more often, but he'll also speak up, but he's going to be more of the guy that kind of come to you one-on-one, you know, kind of just lead by example kind of guy. But it's crazy. It's two guys that just came in January, but it goes back to say, you know, we're a young room. We're a young room where older guys came in and they're able to step up and kind of lead these guys through experiences, you know, and say, hey, I may not have been at this school, but at the end of the day, this is what I've been through, and I can probably help you through this emotion that you're going through.
This is kind of a specific one, but Chris Rhodes, I think he was a DB in JUCO. Did you guys recruit him as a wide receiver?
Honestly, we didn't. You know, we recruited him as an athlete, and it was DB, and we told him, hey man, we got some numbers at wideout. You want to come over and help out? And he was all in. He was all in, and he's a pretty good addition. You know, a guy that goes hard, tough, physical, and just trying to learn right now at the moment. It's kind of learning like those young guys that just got in. But once he gets it down, you can tell he'll be a guy that we can count on. And I'm hoping he'll be one of those guys that we can get on those special teams because he has that grit, tough nature about him now. Thank you. I appreciate you.